Hey everybody, thanks for checking out another one of my video tutorial and reviews. For the past few months, I have been researching side steps for my truck. I decided early on that I wanted something that was wheel to wheel. That means the side step extends past the rear doors to the back wheels, which allows you to have a third step to better access the front of your truck bed. The all-new 2020 HDs have a step like this built into the body of the truck, and I think the utility of having this step is something I'll appreciate over the life of the truck. I went with the 5-inch oval design from Raptor series. I thought the straight tube was a more modern look compared to the bent tube designs I've used in the past, and they fell into my $400 price range that I was looking for. They come with a 10-year warranty, which was reassuring to know that I wasn't buying junk that wouldn't last. Let's get started with the installation, and then I'll follow that up with my review. The tools you'll need for this project are a 14mm socket and wrench, not a 13mm like the instructions suggest, and a 6mm hex key wrench. You will also need something to remove these plastic retainers. The instructions recommend a retainer removal tool, but I had success with this small pry bar. If you don't have either of these tools, you could also use a side cutter to pry from both sides of the retainer. Just don't cut through the retainer. They also recommend using a torque wrench to measure 15 to 20 foot-pounds of torque for the M8 hex head bolts and the M10 button head bolts. But as you will read in step 9 of the instructions, the important thing to watch for while tightening is that all the bolts are snug and that the split lock washers are compressed flat. The first thing you should always do when you install your own truck accessories is to make sure your order has the right part number. If you already subscribed to my channel, you might know I got burned this year when I received a 2018 body style revolver bed cover by mistake, and I didn't figure it out until I tried to install it. With side steps, you not only have to worry about getting accessories designed for your current truck year, but also for your cab configuration. Not only will the step locations vary for the crew cab and the double cab, but the third step on the double cab is substantially larger due to the extra box length that's between the wheels. If the model number lines up with what's on the website, you should be good to go. Start by laying everything out. Note that there is a driver's side set and a passenger side set. Everything is labeled, including front, center, and rear mounting brackets for each side. Passenger versus driver side are clearly different for the brackets and steps, but I couldn't find any differences between one side's front, middle, and rear. But since they took the time to label them, I'll play along. Laying the step bar roughly in position on the floor is very useful for finding where your bracket mounting positions are. Fortunately, things were pretty straightforward for the 5-inch ovals on my crew cab at least. The truck only had one mounting position to avoid, and it wasn't anywhere close to the mounting points on the step bar. My step bars also had an additional mounting point, but again, it wasn't anywhere close to a mounting point on my truck. Once you have found the correct mounting positions on your truck, remove the retainers and mount the brackets. I would keep these bolts and all the other bolts loosely assembled for now until everything fits together, and you are happy with the position of the step bars. Remember that there are unique washers and split lock washers for both the M8 hex head bolts and the M10 button head bolts. Accidentally putting a M10 washer on an M8 bolt will cause you to run out of washers that will fit the M10 button head bolts at the end. Thankfully, with the right amount of video editing, nobody will ever know that I made that stupid mistake. Mounting the step bar is next, and the only thing to really watch out for is making sure the rectangular rubber gaskets are in place and lined up correctly. Keep these M10 button head bolts loose as well for adjusting later. As you can see from the channels in the brackets, this is where your forward and rear adjustment will be. Once everything is in place, but only finger tight, check the position of the step bars. I recommend looking at the space between the ends of the step bars and the wheels or mud flaps. I was able to get about a hand's width in the spaces when I slid the step bar all the way forward. The plastic step surfaces are so large that I was more worried about evening the spaces at the end of the step bars than I was about the exact plastic step locations. The small amount of adjustability you have for how far the step bars stick out from your vehicle is on the bottom bolt of the bracket. I recommend setting them as far away from the truck as possible. You will see why in the final review. You can follow the torque specs mentioned earlier, but here is a good look at what the bolt, washer, and lock washer assembly should look like if you are just going by a snug fit. Notice how that split lock washer has now been compressed flat. Split lock washers can only do their job of keeping nuts or bolts from coming loose if they are properly flattened like this. And there you have it. I have to say, I love the black version of these step bars on the RST trim level. The look a straight oval step provides is a perfect blend of sportiness and utility, especially with that third step to reach things near the front of your truck bed or to clean your back window. Each step feels very solid, including the third step, which I was surprised by based on where the mounting points are. Any flexing or movement is in the suspension of the truck and not the step bar or brackets. Again, I love the look of these. They do cut down on your ground clearance, but again, it's more of a sport, utility option. Drop steps do give you the appearance of more clearance, but for someone with a wife and 2 little kids, having the oversized steps was a must. I also like the price point for the quality. Being half the price of the $700 to $1,200 competitors, but still being built with enough quality to come with a 10-year warranty was a big part of my decision. If I had to make one complaint, I would like to have the 5-inch oval step bars stick out a little bit further from the truck. As far as looks go, where they're at now looks perfect. But when you try to get into the truck, you will notice that from above, only about half of your foot can fit onto the step when you try to swing into your truck from the side. Being one of the first purchasers of this new product, I did reach out to Raptor Series to see if this was by design, and they said it was. They also suggested that the 4-inch oval version has a bracket design that sticks them out a little bit further, so trying those might be a good option for some of you. I suppose half of a 5-inch wide step is still pretty good, and my boots might be bigger than others. To their credit, having the step bar sticking out beyond the mud flaps might cause them to pick up more snow or rock chips as well. This is clearly not a deal breaker for me. I'm sure I'll get used to it. Plus, the wife loves the large step on her side, so if she's happy, I get to be happy, right? So what do you guys think? Is this one of the top options at the $400 price point? Let me know in the comments section. Also, if you could hit that subscribe button, that would be really beneficial for me. Consider it a way of supporting me and the channel without actually having to pay for anything. Win-win if you ask me. Okay, thanks again for checking this video out. I'll catch you at the next one.